panels together with super glue or CA glue. And this top one is just loose. This is where the ESC will go, and the motor wires and the FC. So what I'll do with this piece, so I will hot glue that on place. Just to save trying to solder the wires through this little ventilation hole here. And then once it's all in place, I need to slid along onto the wing, hot glue that in place, and then put it back in. And then this can obviously be released later on for any changes with just a bit of IPA alcohol, and that will release the hot glue. But everything else is with CA. This is the joins here, and this is all the parts put together. And then the camera mount on the front, which is again this part I will hot glue from experience with this taking bumps on the nose. This is a piece where you kind of want it to break. I mean, this will crack if it gets hard on a bump. You could hot glue all of it, obviously, but then you've got the weight to consider. The CA glue doesn't weigh anything, but hot glue will soon add up, especially if you're doing repairs. So, and then this is the nose cone. So I put a piece out of the bottom there. Hollowed this out to fit in. That fits in on the lip. So that fits on the lip just like that. And then that will be hot glued down, wrap around like that all the way to the top. And that will look quite neat once it's finished, and then obviously the camera will be inside there. And you'll have that on. This will be through the wing, and then the piece I haven't made yet will be the battery cover, which will just be a piece of the Correx, probably just tape on hinge, just keep it simple, because this breaks anyway in the crash. If you have a piece extended there and it's bent, it looks good, but after one or two bumps it'll crack off anyway, so you're probably best off just gluing something on, or just insulation tape will hold it in place. And then it will fit down here, either with magnets on a bar, which I had before, or again just another piece of tape once you close this up. So yeah, that's the fuselage pretty much ready to go onto the wing. So the one thing I didn't show before was the vertical stabilisers. So these are made out of Correx. These are slightly thicker, 4mm, but again template, stick it on, cut around it carefully with a knife, and yeah, maybe try and get these to line up. I don't know how much of it. You could seal these with a bit of tape, but obviously I think wind resistance may have a problem whether it's going to yaw or affect its performance. I'm not sure. You could always fill them up and fill the hot glue if you just add weight to it, but maybe tape would streamline a bit better. And the thing I was mentioning before about these rods, the critical bit to get the hole lined up. So it's on that one. So now you can probably see. If you slide that in, it goes down, it's too high, and underneath. So that goes underneath the wing, nice and tight, all the way to the rear, so where the engine mount's going to be. And then cut off the front, and that obviously not much weight, but a massive amount of impact strength on the nose. So yeah, that's now kind of ready for final assembly and attachment to the wing. I've put the new version of the fuselage on, so I've slid it on and hot glued it on in place. This is a battery cover which I didn't show before, but I've made out of a Correx step there, which is glued on, and then using small magnets out of a motor, 2 in there and 2 in the VTX cover. I've got a picture of this bay, so I'll show you before and afterwards, because basically I hot glued this into place, and obviously you can put a bit of IPA on this to release it if you need to do any maintenance inside. The rest of it is all put together using CA glue, apart from the nose, which is hot glue again, because if this gets damaged, crash damage, you can just make another piece from the plans I've got and just hot glue it in place. Velcro, bit and sponge on the front to help save the battery in those front end impacts. FC is back in place. That's now level to the wing, and from here using a set square on top there to keep it all nice and level. So that would mean now that there's I think it's 1.9 or 2 degrees of incidence on the wing, but now it's level as per the setup of the flight controller. So that, fingers crossed, that will help in flight characteristics. I noticed with the wing just having no incidents at all. Also, I've put some scallops on the back here. This is just aesthetic. It may improve cooling of the motor efficiency, I don't know, but it was mainly because I like the look of it, and also because it was damaged here anyway, so I just thought, well, I'll remove them, put a bit of style over functionality in. The wingtips, again, I had a little bit of damage and I wanted them to look a bit more streamlined, maybe cut through the air a bit better, so I've put that in the plans as well. In future, what I also may do is I may cut these straight off and then apply different types of winglets, so just as testing and experiment, but I won't do that until this is damaged, and you know, it's either that or rebuild the wing. But for now I'm just going to test fly and see how it goes. The receiver, using R9M, so I've put that underneath through the wing and at the front, so if I start to lose signal I can turn around and you'll regain full signal. And it's compromised between having it, obviously vertically would be the best orientation instead of horizontally, but I find this with quads, experience on them, this gives me plenty of range, more than I need, and it works. As you lose signal you turn and you regain sort of full signal rather than getting a failure. So yeah, obviously I'll include a photo of this bay prior to hot gluing this into place so you can see what it's like. And that's it. All up weight is 414 grams, so similar to the other one. It just looks a neater design now. It's in the the finished stage, to the point where I'd be more than happy to release the plan and put my name on them so people can build one if they want. So yep, that's my Vector, inspired by the FT Goblin. Thanks for watching.